Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran. You might know me from such films as Clerks, Clerks 2, Vulgar, Brutal Massacre. Yeah, anyway, I'm not even supposed to be here tonight, but you know what? You are, because you're listening to the Nightwatch.
And now, back to Nightwatch.
Yoda, this is, and listening tonight, what you are, and will continue to do. Foreseen it, I have. Yeah.
Nightwatch, a Jackalope Media production, with your hosts Todd Sheets, Hugh McClanahan, and Chris Weisbach. And welcome to Nightwatch. I'm your host as always. Very excited here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on intros because our next guest is someone I've been a fan of for quite some time. He's the star of the new TV show Comic Book Men, and I say star because he's kind of the bright shining force, I think, of the show. And I'm really excited to bring to the show Walt Flanagan. Walter, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for a lot of things. Mainly, thank you for Batman Cacophony. The artwork is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very nice to hear.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Batman fanatic. It's like he's my favorite superhero of all time, and to have you and Kevin do that book, and the other Batman book as well, but for some reason that 3-issue series just, it's my favorite one. It's, as a matter of fact, right now it's on the wall in my house. I have them all three put on the wall.
Oh, cool. That's very nice to hear. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Walt, how's it feel being a reality TV star now?
It doesn't feel any different than it was before I was a quote-unquote reality star. Nothing has changed. I'm still, like I said, you may hear a register ringing in soon as I ring up a customer as we do this interview, so I think that kind of hammers home just how little has changed.
Well, I think that's the greatest thing is this interview is live with you from Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash there in Jersey.
Right.
And all of you guys, the entire View Askew verse, as I like to call it, you guys, it doesn't matter how much success happens around there. Everyone stays the same. You guys are just awesome, down-to-earth people, and you're one of us, and that's what I love about it.
Thank you. That's, again, wow, man, you could call me every day and tell me all these things.
Don't say that. I might start. It'd be bad. Well, clear back, with Clerks, when you were like, in the Evil Dead movies, they have the fake Shemp, and that was always Ted Raimi, and you're like the Ted Raimi of View Askew, because in Clerks, you played like 4 different characters, right?
Yeah, like something like that. It was quite a bit of just like, not chaos, organized chaos, and like if somebody didn't show up to shoot that evening, it kind of turned into like, well, it's a joke, let's put him in. And, never guessing that it would be seen by as many people as it turned out it was seen by. I guess the joke at least worked a little bit, that I was in so many scenes.
I love that. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm into heavily. I love things like that, and I'm sure other people do as well that are listening, because that's all about. It's those little touches, that when you go back and you watch it, it gives it the rewatchability factor, And that movie, you're right. That movie kind of came out of nowhere and kicked everyone, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this movie!" I remember hearing about it through the grapevine before it actually got to play, because you guys were doing some of the festivals, and I was like, "I can't wait to see this movie," because it sounded just like myself and my friends. This is the kind of stuff we would want to do, and did do when we were younger, and you guys got that stuff out there everywhere, and people fell in love with it, man. How did it feel to you guys when you found out this thing was like a rocket that wasn't going to stop?
Well, I mean, after it was done, and I saw it after it was edited, and Kev showed me, gave me a copy of it to watch at home on a VCR. That's how long ago it was.
Oh yeah, that's
VCR.
True.
After I got done watching it, I was like, I mean, I know it's easy to say now, but I truly was like, I think that there's something here, man. I think that it's not just going to be this little, little small film that, I was like, this is going to be I can't say I thought it was going to be as big as it was, but I definitely thought there was something there that I had never heard a movie like that or seen a movie like that, and I thought it would appeal to our age group at the time.
And boy, did it. I mean, it began a ride that is still going to this day. I mean, it seems like it was so great to have that door opened up, because at the time, a lot of films coming out of Hollywood were really pretty jaded, stilted, boring. I mean, we were going to the movies every week going, why? But when that movie came out, it kind of gave us a fresh perspective, like you said. And a lot of people, I think, it was a voice for a new generation of fans, really.
Yeah. I mean, it was, it connected, and those people who felt the connection have really stayed on and, become loyal Kevin Smith, backers, and it's really nice to see, that it's still to this day, it means so much to those people.
Well, I tell you, every once in a while, Kevin will retweet something I put out, and I tell you what, it's like I got to brag about it all day long. Kevin Smith retweeted me, because he's like, we look up to him so much, because he's one of us, and the thing is, he never got changed by it, and that's the greatest thing, is because even today, I mean, he's starting his own distribution company, he's doing his own thing, and here you guys are on this TV show, and the thing I thought was interesting, I've read some reviews, people saying there's not enough Kevin. I'm like, that's exactly what's great about Kevin. It's about you guys. Yeah,
I mean, I guess it was they were going to try to make a large portion of it about the day-to-day activities of the show, and then have Kevin kind of bridge scenes and kind of like flesh out scenes a little bit more for the viewer, which I think was a neat way to do it, rather than have like interview the person that just came in who tried to sell something, that kind of way that they do it now on some shows, where they interview the person outside and tell us about what happened in there. This way, it was a little bit a different kind of approach, and and I mean, people want to see Kevin. It's a Kevin Smith store. I mean, nobody really cares about the rest of the guys. They really want to see what Kevin has to say about it.
Well, I think that's about to change, my friend. I think that's about to change. That just the first episode alone, I was immediately on it. I was like, I got to talk to Walter, because you were my favorite on the show, and I loved everybody. But what I loved about it was you could see all the heart and all the passion in each member, and we got to know quickly each member of the crew, and I thought everyone did an amazing job. But I really believe that a lot of people are going to open up to everyone else that's on the team because of this show.
Oh, okay. Hope so.
It's true. I mean, I laughed so hard when they were at the shop, the swap and shop deal out there, the flea market.
Yeah.
That was fantastic, man. And, I was just like, I can't believe he's breaking the guy's plates. Come on. And that is, and now with Brian, is he like, he's not a member of the crew, he just hangs out up there?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't work here officially. He doesn't pull down a paycheck here, but he. I mean, it could paint a little bit of maybe a little stretch, a little bit of rally. He's not here as much as the show may make it seem, but he's here quite a bit, though.
Well, he's one of the family. That's the important thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, when you, a lot of people know you for the Tell 'em Steve Dave deal from Fanboy. You were the Fanboy Walt Grover from Mallrats. Now, when you guys created that part, again, I'm sure you didn't realize this is so iconic. You could put that on T-shirts and make tons of money. Is that? Could you believe that happened?
No. It was these throwaway kind of stuff. Never in a million years did anybody think to franchise it or turn it into some sort of merchandise. No, that was never, and I repeat, never a possibility in our heads back in the day.
But now you even have an action or an inaction figure based on the characters.
Yeah, but that was a while ago. Yeah, but yeah, that was neat. That was fun.
You still have those figures laying around over there?
No, they are all gone. Manufacturer is out of them.
Man, see, now I'm gonna have to find it on eBay because
yeah,
It was like a special though. Those weren't like available at all the stores like the.
No, they weren't. They were just available at the San Diego Comic-Con and at the Secret Stash.
Yeah.
In Red Bank.
That's it. That's why I didn't get one, and I was like, where do I find them? I kept looking, hoping Diamond would pick them up, but never did get them. Darn it! Now they're going to be worth like thousands and thousands, and then after I have you sign it, it's going to be
then you're talking tens of thousands. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's going to be worth a lot more than the stuff they were bringing into you. The Chucky doll. I went, hello. I have one of those actually, but I have one of the original ones. I worked on Child's Play 3, and
Right.
I got one of the dummy ones in one of the boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the good guy box. It was like pretty funny. I've got one of those somewhere around the house there. I've got way too much stuff.
You
my
have
friend.
one of everything, Todd.
I've got a
Don't
lot.
deny. You have one of everything.
That's why this
in the
show
world.
is perfect for me. Yes. Well, you reprised the character of Walt. You did Dogma, the cartoon, or not the cartoon. You did Dogma, then you did the Clerks cartoon. You can tell I'm a little nervous, man, because I'm so excited to be talking to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was in Dogma and did have a couple lines in the Clerks cartoon.
I love the Clerks cartoon, man. I absolutely think that it was so
it's
ahead of
good.
its time.
It's really good.
Did it break your heart when that thing didn't take off?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of disappointing, but again, it's like, I knew it would find its audience, and there's talk of them revisiting the animated world with those characters.
That's what I was hoping, see, because really, let's be honest, this happens a lot. Family Guy got canceled, and even The Simpsons they wanted to cancel when it first started. If it's ahead of its time, people kind of come in and cut it pretty quickly. But with you guys, I'm like, man, where's Comedy Central coming in to save the day here? They need to be saving this show.
Yeah, I know that there is a very strong possibility of releasing an animated movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with all those characters, all those actors.
Oh my goodness, I'll be the first one there, man. I will have my ticket early. I'm excited about it. What do you think of the new the 3D Star Wars? Have you got to see it?
I have not gone to see it. I probably, not that I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I'm kind of Star Warsed out at the moment. I don't get anything that comes out that, and not that this is new, but Star Wars doesn't seem to get the same rise out of me that it used to years ago.
Yeah. It's because you kind of been down that road a long time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be something to really spectacular to make me get that same feeling, for Star Wars again. Not that I dislike it, but it's just I could never imagine going to see it just because it was in 3D. Right.
I had to see the Darth Maul. That whole scene in 3D. I was like, oh, that got me in there just that alone, because I've always really liked that part of the movie, and it's one of those flawed movies. I don't know why they decided to start there, but I do know why. But gosh, as a fan, I was like, start with number 4.
Yeah. Oh, I was there the first day it opened.
Yeah, me too.
But there was many good moments in that movie, but there's a lot of parts of it that are just so long.
Yeah, you're right.
It's hard to sit through, but there are moments that are so great, but they're kind of few and far between for me personally. But
that sounds like me.
They're anything with Darth Maul was killer, but otherwise, there's a lot of council meetings. It felt like.
I agree. That's exactly what I said the whole time. You are absolutely right, man. You are absolutely right. And I want to bring it out. We talked a little bit about your Batman artwork, but you kind of do a lot of things. You kind of created the clown Vulgar, and you do the View Askew graphics, man. When did you start getting into art? Was it just a natural thing?
Yeah, just been drawing for a bit. I did the clown thing, the logo thing for Kev. You all set, sir? Here.
I'm just looking for the Firefly tree.
Okay, right back this way. Then I did, me and Brian, the guy who's in the show, we did a book called War of the Undead and Carney, and a comic book series. And then Kevin asked me to, if I wanted to be involved with the Batman stuff, which was like, intimidating, but also just like insanely exciting.
Oh, of course. Dream come true,
Yeah, but I'm a huge Batman fan, but oddly enough, the one character that was so for me was like made every dream of drawing for DC come true was actually drawing a character called Deadshot, who actually trumps my Batman in my book. I just love that character so much that it was it almost was like I was getting to draw my favorite character, a character basically no one really even knows.
Wow, I understand. Yeah, I can understand. I've always loved Werewolf by Night. He's like the underdog.
Oh my! I'm a gigantic Werewolf by Night fan. The Don Perlin, Doug Munch stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a run of that is one of my. I mean, it's in my top 10. It's 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37.
Wow.
And then then 38, 39, 40 is the Brother Voodoo with Dr. Glitter Knight, and then before it got canceled, he meets Iron Man.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite runs of all time. I mean, I go back to it yearly and reread it because it's so damn good.
You know what? I do too. That's awesome, man. Because I as a kid, I used to collect them, and then I lost a few issues through the years, and I went back and I built it up. I've got the entire 42 issue run again, and I'm like, I just love it. There's nothing like, and I love how it started with Mike Plug. I mean, he was just definitive.
Yeah, he is awesome, but I mean, but I don't think that Perlin gets enough credit. I think his artwork is not as stylized as Plug, but it's eerie.
Oh,
it's eerie, and I just read it, and it goes. I'm taking because I bought him off the rack as a kid, and it takes me right back to that moment where I was like, "This is the coolest character ever. It's a monster who's a superhero. It's everything I wanted to read in comics."
Me too. Man, that is awesome. And I love the way Perlin used to kind of do the Jack Kirby thing with the black dots and have
he would have that little black energy around people's heads and stuff. I mean, I used it in War of the Undead at times. I mean, it was a huge influence on. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, I would look to it and I would be like, there's a guy talking with where there's not enough room for anything in the background. I'm going to put in some Perlin black dots that he used to do.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. And
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody else who actually knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love it. It's just the atmosphere. It had a very gothic look to it, a tone, and like you said, it was eerie. It was.
It was like L.A. It was set in L.A. It was just. I mean, every time they redo the Werewolf by Night, though, and when they revamp it for every 10 years to keep the copyright or whatever, they never capture what made it. What made it for me anyway is. The bad guys were more bizarre than he was.
That's true.
And they never ever put that into the revamps. It's always more focused on him and making it, I guess, more maybe more gory or making it more about him being a werewolf. But for me, it was always like this guy just not being able to control him, having no control of himself, and saving inadvertently,
That's right.
somebody from some bizarre, weird monster or villain. They never ever go back to that formula, which is I'm like, I don't understand why they don't do it.
I agree. It's the same thing. It's like, where's Topaz, man? Where's the whole supporting cast? That's what we need.
Well, I understand not doing that because I guess maybe only me and you are going to remember that. I'm like, whatever happened to Buck? Where's Buck? And I know there's nobody else cares. But I think just the formula of he's a werewolf. Has on 3 nights of the month he has no control over his werewolf side, and throw in some really weird, vile, monstrous villains. Maybe wizards like Dr. Glitter Knight, or even that, or I can't remember the house of it was like. I can't remember it now, but there was like a house of the. It was like a. I can't remember it now, but it was in 34, 35, 36, and 37. That 4-part series. It was like who's the guy who wrote I Am Legend? Matheson.
Yeah, Richard Matheson.
Yeah, it was a take on his Fall of Usher.
Right.
It was like this haunted castle, and. There was just a line in there as a kid that just made me shudder because I didn't know what they were talking about until much later. I reread it, I figure it out. Is they talk about a disembodied skull, and this villain did horrible, unspeakable things to the skull, And now you read it, and now you're like, oh my God, I think I know what those are.
Yeah.
But back then you're just like, what are they talking about?
I know.
It was,
oh my God.
Yeah, Munch was really underrated, and I can't say enough about that series. I love it.
Man, that just made my whole week, man. Just honestly, that I find a kindred spirit who loves it as much as I do. That is just great. There's nothing like it. And I mean, I loved all the, I liked Man Thing and I liked Tomb of Dracula, but nothing touched that werewolf set, man.
Because it was almost like Spider-Man. He was like a Peter Parker character a little bit. He had much more. You could relate a little bit more to the character than you could like Dracula or Frankenstein.
That's true.
Because most of the time he was. I mean, just the whole. I know I'm making it out to seem like it was like Shakespeare, but it was like this weird aspect of like he was hanging around with a guy who was in his 40s and he was 19. This guy Buck.
Yep.
But they were really close friends. The friendship that they bonded together, and Topaz, and just his sister turning into that kind of leathery, kind of like almost reptilian kind of werewolf.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that. And you're right. It really was for its time. I think Marvel just kind of let them run with it and do what they wanted. I think that they just kind of had free reign, and you could tell because they were creative and imaginative. And Jack Russell was like my hero. Jack Russell and Bruce Wayne; those were my two childhood heroes.
I mean, when I look at it now, I guess it's like listening to and just like I can hear the music that was playing on the radio when I read those songs. That was like in the car when my parents were driving around.
Man.
And I pick up a Werewolf by Night and I'm reading the back. I could just that's how it's like the scents and everything. You read it, that old comic book scent. It's I mean, not much does that to me. Like Star Wars, no. Werewolf by Night, yeah.
Man, this is so bizarre, Amanda.
This is so creepy because that sounds exactly like what Todd does.
It's true.
He's always telling me that it's so nostalgic and it just takes him back to the same exact moment. Because I mean, I understand why he has all that stuff that he has, like all the figures and the comics, but now I'm hearing it from you. That really takes you back.
We're not alone out there. I'm sure there's other people who have oddball characters that they just adore and feel like they're the only ones out there that even appreciate it.
Man, this is just great. Well, Walt, you're making my week, man. And before we go, I want you to be sure to tell all of our friends about your podcast because that thing is awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we do a weekly podcast on the Smodcast network called Tell 'em Steve Dave. It's me, Brian Johnson, our good friend Brian Quinn, and we have also a guy who sits in he's basically a member, Ming Chen, who's also on the TV show.
Great, yeah.
Thing. It's we don't really. We talk about really anything, not specifically comics. There's really not much comic talk on it at all. They really just, I guess, whatever just captures our interest for that particular week.
And that's what I love about it. It's like really being there with you guys, hanging out with a group of friends.
Yeah, a lot of people tell us that it's like, they feel like they're in the room and that they can offer. They want to chime in and add to the conversation. They get so caught up in it, which is cool. I think that happens when we all forget that we're recording. You forget that you're talking, and you really like don't. Not that you would censor, but you're not taking into consideration that what you're talking about is being heard by other people. That's when it really, I think, people start to connect.
I think you're right. And man, I'm a fan. What can I say?
Thank you.
This has been live from Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. Thank you so much, Walt, for coming on the show. It's been an honor. And I know you don't Facebook, you don't Twitter, heck, you don't even have a cell phone, but someone out there has got a Facebook page.
And it's got like all your stuff on it.
Wow.
And it's got 2 friends.
Don't you hate that?
Who's my friends?
I don't know. I tried to add you. I was like, he's only got 2 friends. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, he's not.
Because I was going to advertise you on Facebook when we played the show, because I advertise it all over, and...
No, don't advertise that guy. He's a fraud.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a fraud. Jerk. We're going to tell
weird.
people.
It's an imposter.
So right here, you heard it, guys, right here on Nightwatch. The Walt Flanagan on Facebook is a fraud. Jerks.
Awesome, man. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. You have a great day, my friend.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Take care. Wow, that was awesome. Kindred Spirit.
Kindred spirits. It's kind of creepy, Todd. It's a little creepy.
I get excited. That was a special deal with Walt Flanagan there, and I'm thankful.
I suggest you avoid emotionalism and simply keep your instruments correct.
Cool it down.
All right, got to cool it down. Now, we are about out of time, rocking it with our friends, and that's all that matters.
Are you allowed to say that?
But we have had a great time tonight. I've really had a wonderful time. I want to thank Walter Flanagan for pulling through for us. Thank you, Walter.
Even although you didn't let me ask any questions.
Well, I'm really sorry, but I get excited, and I just can't help myself. I do apologize, and I promise to make it up to you on the UFO guest next time. You can ask all the questions. I'll just pretend like I was abducted. That'll be good. And I also want to thank our first guest, the amazing Felix Sela, who enlightened us with his tales of torture at the hands of the entertainment industry. What a wonderful time. I loved it. He was so great. I loved his accent. It was like Father Guido Sarducci's little brother was on the phone with us. It was wonderful.
That was great.
I really had a great time. So thanks to all of our friends out there for listening every week. Without you, we wouldn't be here. We do appreciate it. Thank you also to our affiliates, because without you, no one could hear us. So thank you for that. I know I say it every week, but it is sincere, and I really do mean it.
I'm getting out of here. Damien.
Whoa.
Fine, then go. I'm gone.
I'm leaving.
Go then.
You leaving?
I am. Go. I'm gone.
You gonna
Go
stay
then.
and cough?
I am.
Well, I guess it's time to go, so Hugh can go to the hospital and get his lungs pumped, everybody, here.
No, I just need my medication.
You sure do. I've been saying that about you since the day we met. Oh! I need that sound effect. I love you, Hugh. You're a good guy. You're my pal. And Chris, thanks for being here. I really appreciated it. Thanks for bringing Tweaky in so he could talk to himself. We really like that a lot. But we'll be here next time, everybody. Having a great time next week. Be here with us. Let's have some more fun. And until then,
spook to you later.
And happy nightmares. Oyasumi Nasai. Nightwatch is a production of Jackalope Media in association with Jackalope Radio, with your host Todd Sheets and co-hosts Hugh McClanahan and Chris Weisbach, featuring voice work from September Day. Also with Amanda H. and Audrey Q, associate producers.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. The people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
can also listen to Nightwatch on the following incredible radio stations: World Talk Radio, Livid Radio, Hawking Radio, Planet Tokyo, Sessions Radio, Power 3201, Z106 FM, Haunted Voices Radio, K94 Rocks, Glue 92, Anomaly Radio, Mystic Age Radio, 96.3 Shane FM, Flash FM, Nomad Radio Network, Yapster FM, My Retro Rock Radio, Double X Radio, 1611 AM, Australia, KBMA, Sports and Entertainment Radio, Robin Valley Community Radio, Radio Crackle, Planet Paranormal, The Black Vault Radio Network, Radio Free Bob, KCOR, WCRP AM, 1620, Rock and Talk Radio, The Point 99.1 FM, Extreme Indie Radio, Omnicron Radio, WPAZ 1370, Blast Podcast, KJO 97.3 FM, Indie 104 FM O Radio, WDSP 101.9 Fox FM, Ghost Village, Switchpod, Pure Country, Headcase Radio, Slack and Bracken Radio, Future World, Red Finger Radio, Catnip Radio, Scuttlebutt, The Butt at radio.thebutt.net, BNRX Internet Radio for the Extreme, KCIA at kcia1.com, Extreme Radio Tampa, Ryukin Radio, X100, SRN1, the 1KX Network, KJAG Radio, Random Radio, Riff Raff Radio, Exile Radio, WOQ AM Radio, FCN Radio, Gray Point, Brand Name Radio, CKDU FM, Leaf Pile Radio, Rocktown Radio, Bizu Homegrown Radio, WWRW, the Worldwide Radio Web, The Dust at www.onthedust.com, RadioVox, Atlantis 102, Land's Edge Radio, Mix 94.5 FM, 91.5 FM, Ghost Radio, Jet City Radio, Hits 99.9, Extreme Radio 1077, Ghost Radio X, The Beat, Shadows of the Night, East Hill Radio, Hot 97.7 FM, 91.5 FM BVIR, Bearcast Radio, Kudia Radio, World Talk Radio, Surge Radio Network, Radio End, Dragonflight Radio, Beefy Radio, K94 Rocks, Anomaly Radio, Power 3201, and Independent International Radio, Lips 106 FM, Dragonflight Designs Radio, Indie X Radio, The Free Constitution Network, WOQ AM 1690, The Mix 94.5, AM Stereo 930, Radio Enigma, Steel City Radio. If you're an affiliate and your name is not on this list, send me an email and I'll add it as soon as possible. Remember to check out all these great stations for their own days and showtimes for Nightwatch. And don't forget, you can listen to Nightwatch anytime you want to by going to the audio chamber at www.nightwatchradio.com and downloading your favorite episodes for your own personal paranormal pleasure. And as always, you can hear Nightwatch live every Tuesday night right here at 9 p.m. Central on jackaloperadio.com.